The way I currently understand the game is this. Many of us spend 8 hours a day wishing we were somewhere else. We think we're working for someone else's company, someone else's goals, someone else's success, and then we count down the hours until we finally get to go home. But what if that isn't what's really happening? What if your workplace isn't simply where you earn money? What if it's one of the greatest classrooms you'll ever enter? I'd like to invite you to borrow a model for the next few minutes. You don't have to believe it. Simply notice what it reveals. Imagine your workplace as an extension of your own body. Whether you work in an office, drive a truck, manage a business, work from home, or own your own company. Imagine that the moment you walk through the front door, you're entering through the solar plexus of your own body, the place associated with confidence, identity, self-worth, and personal power. Now imagine the business itself as one living organism. Every department, every conversation, every customer, every colleague, every difficult manager is another cell within that body. Suddenly your working day becomes something very different. It becomes feedback. Instead of asking, why is this person making my life difficult? You begin asking, what is this interaction trying to teach me about my relationship with myself? That single shift changes everything. Now imagine someone at work who really irritates you. Rather than asking what's wrong with them, become curious. What is it about them that's activating something inside you? Maybe they seem arrogant, maybe they're rude, maybe they're controlling, maybe they constantly seek attention. Now ask yourself a different question. Is this showing me something I'm doing that I could stop doing? Or is this inviting me to develop something I've been withholding? Sometimes the lesson isn't what we first assume. Years ago, I worked for a CEO who desperately needed recognition. He wanted to be seen eating in the best restaurants. He expected his work to be prioritized above everyone else's. He wanted constant reassurance that he was important. At first, I found him exhausting. I became irritated by how much attention he seemed to demand. I couldn't relate to him at all. I remember thinking, I'm nothing like that. Then something shifted. I realized perhaps he wasn't showing me someone who wanted too much attention. Perhaps he was revealing my discomfort with receiving attention. Not because I wanted people to admire me, but because I wasn't comfortable being seen, being visible, taking up space. That completely changed the game. Instead of resisting him, I began practicing something. Not for him, for me. I looked for genuine opportunities to acknowledge him, to recognize his work, to express appreciation honestly, to affirm he was seen. If I intercepted a phone call I could deal with myself, I'd say something like, Mike, I hope it's okay that I handled Jane's call. I knew you were working on something more important, so I didn't want to interrupt you. I wasn't manipulating him. I was practicing becoming someone who could comfortably express appreciation, recognition, and generosity. Whether he changed became secondary. The practice was changing me. Then something remarkable happened. A new secretary joined the company. Almost overnight, our roles changed. One day I watched Mike walk down the corridor. For over a year, he'd always stopped at my desk with some task. This time, he walked straight past me and stopped at hers. I felt something I'd never expected. Relief. Not because I'd escaped him, but because whatever lesson had existed between us no longer needed to play itself out in the same way. It was a win for both of us. He genuinely enjoyed working with her. She seemed to enjoy giving him the recognition he valued. Everyone benefited. That experience completely changed how I see work. I spent 25 years believing I worked for over 40 different companies. Today I see it differently. I spent 25 years practicing the relationship I had with myself. Now I know this perspective won't resonate with everyone, and that's perfectly okay, but try it for yourself, just for one day. Treat every difficult conversation, every frustrating colleague, every demanding customer as feedback rather than interruption. Notice how often the greatest shift happens when you change first. Whenever someone triggers me now, I ask only 2 questions. Is this showing me something I need to stop doing? Or, is it inviting me to become more of someone I've been afraid to be? Sometimes the answer surprises me. The CEO never taught me about arrogance. He taught me how to become comfortable being seen. So here's my invitation. Smile at people. Be kind. Offer genuine appreciation. Not because they deserve it, not because you're trying to change them, but because every interaction is an opportunity to practice the relationship you're building with yourself. If someone is angry, perhaps they're carrying pain. If someone is dismissive, Perhaps they're overwhelmed. If someone seems cold, perhaps life has become heavy for them. You don't need to fix them, just become the person you want to experience more of. Because whether or not you are perceiving that they receive your kindness, you do. And perhaps that's what this game has been about all along. Powering up your own field, one interaction at a time. Because the more I observe life, the less I believe I was ever working for someone else. I was simply being given thousands of opportunities that I completely missed out on to practice becoming myself. When I worked in the corporate world, I couldn't wait to get home. Home felt like the place where I was free, the place where life could finally begin, the place where I could be myself. What I couldn't see at the time was that I was spending 8 hours a day inside environments that were shaping my relationship with myself. I thought I was resenting my job. I thought I was resenting my managers. I thought I was resenting the companies I worked for. Now I see it differently. I was rehearsing resentment towards myself, 8 hours a day. No wonder my true worth struggled to emerge. No wonder my passions remained hidden. No wonder freedom always felt like somewhere else. I wasn't simply leaving work every evening. I was carrying the emotional relationship I'd been practicing all day home with me.